I'm Kevin from Vantage, and this is another Essential English video. This one is on active listening. You know, most people when asked about their communication skills think, I can speak, I can write. They never even consider listening. It's a hugely underrated skill. Listening is a whole communication process which requires you to understand every spoken message and follow this with appropriate action. When speaking with customers, suppliers, colleagues, active listening is a great discovery tool to learn the specific needs of these people. Let's look at some of the key vocabulary that's associated with active listening. These are the words that you should know when you're active listening. Here are some examples. Interrupt. To break the flow of someone's speech by saying something before they have finished speaking. Paraphrase. To repeat something using different words. Distraction. Something which disturbs your concentration. Acknowledge. To show that you recognize something. Summarize. To review what someone says. Here are some active listening techniques. Look at the words in the box. Then look at the sentences below. See if you can fill in one of the words in the box that describes the word in the sentence. You may want to pause the video for a second while you formulate your answers. 1. Pay attention. To help you do this, avoid distractions. This also means not thinking about other things and not thinking about what you want to say next. 2. Don't interrupt the speaker. Wait until he's finished speaking before you say anything. 3. Acknowledge what the speaker is saying by responding verbally and non-verbally. This means expressing interest, making eye contact, and nodding your head. 4. When the speaker has finished, show understanding by paraphrasing what they've said. 5. Ask open questions to get as much information as possible. Here are two great active listening techniques. Let's take a look at the first one, acknowledging. To acknowledge you've heard something doesn't mean you agree. You can say things like, I understand your concern. I see where you're coming from. You acknowledge what you've heard, but you don't necessarily say you agree with it. The other technique is to summarize or paraphrase in your own words what the other person has said. Here's a good example of paraphrasing.
I had a training course to go to in Rayong yesterday afternoon. It was scheduled to start at 2 o'clock, so I left my office at 11 and drove there. I arrived at 1:50 and found that the training course had already finished. It had been moved to the morning, but nobody told me.
So you drove all the way down there and missed the course anyway? What a waste of time. I bet you weren't happy about that. By paraphrasing, the listener has shown that he's understood the message from the speaker. It also invites a further comment from the speaker.
Right, and I wasn't happy that nobody told me the time had changed, because that course was really important.
Showing interest is another active listening technique. You can do this with your body language, but also with your words. Let's take a look at a following conversation. I like your watch. Patek Philippe, isn't it?
Well, to be honest, it's a fake.
Really? Well, it looks real to me. Where did you get it?
Turkey. It cost me $25.
Amazing. At that price, you could buy a few of them and sell them.
Yes, some of my friends want one too.
I'm not surprised. I'd like one. Words really, amazing, I'm not surprised are a great active listening technique to show interest in what the speaker is saying. Here are some specific active listening techniques for showing interest. First, let's listen to these brief conversations and then we'll explain each technique in more detail.
I've just come back from France.
France? Where did you stay?
Paisarn is looking for a new job.
Is he? What kind of job is he looking for?
We're getting some new equipment.
What kind of equipment?
That test was difficult.
Right. I couldn't answer some of the questions. Here's a little bit more detail on each of these active listening techniques. Echo words. These are one words that you repeat from the speaker. They show interest in what he's saying. In our example from the conversation, it was France? Echo questions are a question that echoes back the information you've just received. In our example from the conversation, it was, is he? Open questions. These are questions that need more than a yes or no answer. In our example, it was, what kind of equipment? Showing attention. These are words or even sounds that show that you're listening. Words like, I see, right. These show that you're listening to the speaker. Echo questions are quite common in active listening, so let's look at a few examples of how they can be employed.
Did you hear that Pete is quitting his job?
Pete's quitting his job.
Take a look at this.
Take a look at what?
We just got budget approval for your project.
We just got approval? That's great. Sometimes you hear something that you just don't think is correct or is maybe a little bit unbelievable. An echo question is a great technique to confirm or clarify that the information you heard is correct.
I'm moving to Scotland.
You're moving where?
My new iPhone cost me 28,000 baht.
Your new iPhone cost you how much?
I'm going to eat venison for lunch today.
You're going to eat what? Here are a few more active listening techniques that are really good in showing interest. Active listening technique. Showing interest. Examples? That sounds interesting. Fascinating. Showing pleasure. Fantastic. Great. Showing agreement. Exactly. Of course. Sure. Showing sympathy. What a pity. What a shame. Sorry to hear that. Showing surprise. Really? Amazing. That's strange. Showing no surprise. I'm not surprised. Let's take a look at specific sentence examples for each of these showing more interest active listening techniques. Number 1, there's a new training course on time management next week. That sounds interesting. I've never done that before. This example shows interest. 2, that was a great presentation this morning. It was fantastic. We are sure to get the project's budget approved. This example shows pleasure. Number 3, the new trainee works hard. Exactly. I think he'll be a good team member. This example shows agreement. 4, the supervisor has canceled my leave. I'm sorry to hear that. I bet you were looking forward to a few days off. This example shows sympathy. 5, the new equipment hasn't arrived yet. Really? That's strange. It should be here by now. This example shows surprise. Number 6, somebody broke into the office building last night. I'm not surprised. The lock on the door has been broken for a long time. This shows no surprise. 7, he missed the meeting this morning. Did he? What happened to him? This is an echo question example. I hope you've understood the importance of listening as one of the key communication skills. By focusing your attention on the speaker, you'll avoid misunderstandings and you'll be able to better formulate your response. Look forward to seeing you again in the next Essential English video. Bye for now.